Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. I put the engine back in the last video and I still wasn't happy with the clutch, and what I did was strip it all down, and we've got too much play on the rear hub. That bearing's gone, if you can see that moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip off the rear hub and take the bearing out, and then I'll jump back onto the workbench. Right, I've got the lay shaft out, and that bearing has got too much play in it. It's kind of hard to show you. I don't know if you can see that movement. A lot of it's probably my finger that makes it look worse, but there is a ton of play in that. The good news is I've got myself a MB1 to fit in, so that should alleviate that problem, and I'm going to get to the bottom of the clutch issue once and for all. So what I'm going to do is, I've got that bearing to get in, lay shaft to put back in again, which I will film. I'm just going to put the bearing in first because that's just a simple job where you warm up the casing, slide that in, put on the bracket to hold it in place. When I've got that in place, I'll pop back and we'll take it from there. Right. We have a new bearing on the lay shaft. So no movement at all. Well, very slight, not wobbling all over the place like it was before. I'm just going to stick it into neutral. The Christmas tree in first and stick full boss towards you. I wondered why it wouldn't go past the Christmas tree. Get down so I can see what I'm doing. That's it, perfect. Mesh nicely. Good further wipe. So right, not fourth gear, third gear. Boss towards you. Goes that way. So fourth gear, boss towards you, and the rest of them boss towards the rear hub. That's third in. Let's grab the second. Excuse the camera moving, but I've got the tripod out today. That takes up more room than my little space. So again, high spot, rear hub. You know, as I said before, all the gears mesh and they're all level. So that's an indication that you know you've got them in the right way. Right, so third's in, second in, sorry. And then we've got our first gear, which is self-evident that the kickstart side comes towards you. And just make sure they're all spinning freely, which they are. I can stick the gearbox end plate on when I remove my two bolts, and don't lose my shim. I'm hoping this time that the clutch actually sits nice and level. It is a bit weird when you see it moving out as you're spinning it around. Indication that your rear hub bearing's gone. Try and do this, trying to grab screws and bolts with hands that are oiled up. It's not very ideal. I think they're 8mm anyway. 8mm on there. Yep. I'll leave my 10 there because I'm going to need that in a minute. And again, you get lovely and greasy and oily when you do these jobs. But hey ho, all part of being a scooter owner. It's always cold today. I keep saying that in every video, I think, that you hear me talking on, right? So I'm just going to wipe in where the gearbox goes, make sure it's nice and clean, which it's not. There's a bit of gasket in there from the oil. Still there. Knife blade will get that. It's not actually silicone. It just goes to show where it gets. Thought it was gasket, but it's not. And also wipe the gearbox end plate. Now it's up to you whether you leave them locating dowels in or put them in the end here. You can put them in either side, but they're preened down to hold them anyway, so I can't see any gain in not putting them either way, so that's fine. Right, so before I do anything, let me put the bearing on and the shim. Right, we've got our, that's not that one, that's the spider shim. And I did see the bearing earlier. It is. One shim, one bearing, and gearbox end plate on. Remember what I said in the previous video about this can hit the back of the engine block and appearing to cause problems where that stop turning is nothing to do with the there's a problem. It's just this bearing pinches on the Christmas tree. That's nice. It's gone on roughly. Again, loads and loads of oil. And all Lambrettas do love oil. Right, so I've got that's one. And again, like I say, with all my stainless steel bolts and nuts, I like the writing to come to you. It's just nicer to look at. That's a 12mm, so where's my 11 gone? It's a 10, I think. Yeah, that's a 10. That's the 11, is it? Yeah. Right. And I want a small extension, which is on the screwdriver part. Let's find that. Up above. No, there's a screwdriver. Where's that gone? Sorry, the battery had died, I didn't realise. Oh, I've just put a new battery in anyway. As I don't know how much you've missed until I edit it, but what I'm doing is putting the gearbox end plate, washers and stainless steel nuts on, and I'm, as I said to you before, just finger tight to start with, so they're nice and even. And then we're going to do them a quarter to half a turn, just making sure they're all on, which they are. And we'll try and do the crisscross method again. Right, let me just raise that camera up a tad. That's a bit better. Right. See, that's not turning at the moment. What we can do is put the spider on and the shim. Just make sure nothing's caught, and just do up the nut, which is there, just to pull the Christmas tree away. Excuse me while I get the socket and the ratchet. I'm not doing it tight, just to prove that everything's in. If I remember rightly, it was shimmed up really nice, this engine. It does seem to be turning nice and free. And lo and behold, that looks like it's spinning level now, so I think we've got rid of our problem. Or my problem, not yours. I'm hoping I'll get a nice clutch now. Can't see any reason why not. Alright, let's move the spider out of the way. Right, we're going to go crisscross again. Whew, right, top one, I'm going to call number one, quarter of a turn. And I'm going to go to that one, quarter of a turn, that one, quarter of a turn, up tight, and that one, and that is rock solid. I'm going to go with the Series 2 original init empty stuff, so don't forget that goes on the nipple. And put our nut back on again. I think it went on that way. Feeling it. It seemed very tight. Batteries are dying on me light, so